The first is that the government has a responsibility to protect the people of the country and to protect the people of the country. This is a wasteless struggle. The final of the tournament is expected today. The first is the Fall Center. The Golden Globe is a reality show that is based on the reality of the world. The first is the boyfriend of the younger generation. The first is the greatest day of the year. The first time I saw the video was in the video. The quality of the competition presented by both sides is likely to only increase the price. The music is not just a beat, it's a beat. The score is also difficult to decipher. The game was played in a single match. 10 changes in leadership. Nick finally got the key balls and he was able to get the ball. The first time I saw the video was in the video. The series was released in Japan on December 12, 2012. The game will be played in a single match, with the final match being played in 12 matches. The first is the City of the Stars. Brunson has clearly completed the crackdown on the classroom. He was injured in the knee and ankle in the first half of the game. 19 crazy games 31 times. The three-pointed attack was a surprise. The first time the group had a meeting was in May. The final minute of the match. He also highlighted his one-season stint in the Super Bowl. The report also highlights the importance of the new rules for the country's economy. I'm not sure what the answer is. Haddon may have known how to play. So based on what happened, the two sides have a sexual orientation strategy. The report also highlights the importance of the new rules for the education of the poor. How can we adjust this? The game ends before the game. The horse is the better-looking side of the street for the loser. On the one hand, Nick is a bit early in the game, but the competition in the East seems to be lacking in persuasion. The other side, the horse has just won the most popular lottery. The young people are a strange way to get upgraded. This is reflected in ESPN's official forecast. The 3 experts who participated in the vote. All the eaters watched the horses take their own lives. The first is that the government has not yet taken action. The horse has won 6 times in the final since then. The positive winning percentage is 100%. Never lost a hand. The results of the competition were very interesting. The Youth Army has 24 horses. Nick won 11 games. The first is the Game of Thrones. The first is the horse movement. But this is the game against the king. The first is that the people of the country are not allowed to see the world. The video is a bit of a shock. The first stage of the race. The government has also been trying to get rid of the sandwich of the country. The team is a very fast-paced team, but they are getting into the state faster. This is a ball. Ugh, the Ogi is in the back corner. The game was sent to downs after the match. The Chinese are trying to fight. The result was a loss of defense positions. Donovan visited the truth, the hat that divides the ball into air. The first time I saw a video of the video, I was surprised. This is the ball. The sign of downs on the top of the lake. The other 3 players took it once. Brunson, who has been a bit of a jerk, has been up and down the stretch. Afterwards, Downs failed to break a goal on goal. The response from the staff was not good. The only way to get the enemy to stop is to point them at the enemy. The self-driving car stopped immediately. From this stage, I saw it at the door, Nick on horseback. This is a very difficult point to bear. How to get to the position. Downs is the focus of Nick's offensive. If the Bengals defend Downs, he was going to be wired out. The horse-drawn coin will appear in the vacuum. If the Vans are wrong about Hart, the other players didn't come out. The wrong spot and the wrong board of the downs. This is a good man's problem. The video was shot in the middle of the night. The first is the firefighting. The problem with the handling of the paperwork is also, he seems to be overly, a few downs threats. The defense is too close. The first is the sweetie. I've been to the Dawn several times. The situation is normal. This is not true. The horse is in the first half. The first is the battle of the sexes. The first key figure is Hafez. He is a handheld player who has been in the game for over a decade. The single pole is well connected. The team played a high 20-5 game. The ball is on the ground. Horse from the back of the field. After the game, the attackers quickly launched a counterattack. After entering the 3-point line, the first is the death of a witch. Defense of the former Yugoslavs. The first is the Sweetie. The first is the 2+1. The next round. The next day, the police were able to find a way to stop the attack. I'm going to Fox. After the split between the sentences. The third point is empty. I'm not sure. This is just a story. The 20-year-old rookie is out of the final for the first time. But his shirt and basic work are not the same. It's just the end of the world. Previously, Argentina was shaken. The second key figure. The government has been trying to get rid of the government's corruption. This is the place. Nick is trying to limit his ball holding and his downs. The Chinese have done a lot of handcrafting. This will strengthen the protection of the walls. But this is not the case. The horse is in the middle of the room. I'm not sure what happened. The first half of the season was a bit of a shock to the fans. By their own power, the fire was started by the horse's own external fire. The second half, the story is about a young boy who is a teenager. The first is to make sure that the classroom is not the main focus of the classroom. The first is the heart. The first is the use of the internet as a means of communication. Playing a game where he goes to turn off the lights. I'm not sure what happened to Nick. There is only one species. The leadership of the horse itself. The first time was in the last few weeks. This is their home ground. The last time I won the contest. But soon, the horse raised a problem for him in his cell. The bomb exploded. Kenneth was unable to take a class. This is a ball. The goal of the game is to get the ball to the bottom of the court. Downs handed the ball to the outside. Kenneth was also cooked in. The result was that Shamid killed a backhorse gunman. I'm going to get back to the basement. Downs to the ball. The end of the form. The next round. Downs outlined to the province of Cornet. A test site on the ground. The attackers broke through the left road. The speed of the internet is completely down. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. The first is the seat. Kenneth was on the scene for 3 minutes. The horse's advantage instantly collapsed. Next, the fourth paragraph. The impact of the previous strong airports. The problem of the body of the Bengal horse is beginning to appear. The response has been delayed. The technology is also beginning to deform. In contrast, that Brunson becomes the man who takes over the contest. The whole thing is long. In the city of Kassel. The last time I saw the video was in the video. The title of this planet. Once there were only 10 species. I'm not going to say. The race is likely to be held a few days later. The worst performance. The country is a major producer of food. The video was also released on YouTube. The first was a hand-not defense meeting. The first is the sweetness of the world. The government has also been trying to overthrow Barnes. The second time I was in the car, Brunson's knee collapsed in time. Afterwards, Brunson is not knee-deep. I'm going to go back to the first one. The results are, after returning to the game, he was sent back to the West Coast. I'm going to try again. The first is the ball of the world. The plane was launched by a magnet. He was accidentally hit by a car. 2 hands in a row. But as the famous saying goes, the people who beat me, I'm definitely more burden. The first final of the same season. Brunson is a recurring name for Haddon, a competition. Today's talk. The first is the buddy and the second is the buddy. The world is changing. This is a ball. The Mez backyard error. Brunson is holding the ball and shooting back. The first is the death penalty. Knee in Kassel. He has no qualms about it. He was killed by force and went in. Left-handed Logan. Put the ball in. The next ball. Brunson continues to face your complications. Guggenheim. The Guggenheim is a great place to start. The first time I saw a woman in the car, I was in a coma. The first is the signal. He was shot again. There are moments like that. You can even do it on Bronson's. Seeing the shadow of the peak of Ibsen. They have any game that they can point to. The game is a great game for the players. I tried a lot. This is not a chance. But there is a ball. The first is the use of a slippery box. The whole process. The most telling scene. The last minute of the incident. The last 4 minutes of the match. The first is the Vietnamese. Trying to take down the Downs. The results were premature. The error occurred. The opposition is overwhelmed. Nick's turn to come. Brunson is a pacing artist. The first is the water defense. The series is set in the south. The game is a free-for-all. He is still holding his body. The following is a list of the most common causes of death in the United States. 2 separate planes shot down. The game is a deadly one. How to deal with the ball. The first is the final of the 13th edition of the tournament. The first time I saw the video was in the video. The first is the limit operations. In front of lobby. Heads up lock and key, and he wins a ball. Who can imagine today many years from now? The same goes for the small back of a flooded floor. The first time I saw the video was in the video. Brunson has no absolute gift. The book is a collection of stories about the life of a young boy. The story is historic. This is the key to his success today. What is more, Brunson, once considered the weakest defender of the ring. Today is the day. The newcomers gave a defensive statement. The data shows Brunson is a key defensive player. The first time the team played in the tournament was in March. The first goal was scored. The core of a light crater. How can I not be loved by New York fans? The answer is the last fatal mistake of the Vietnamese. The first is that the young people are paying for their education again. It's like a memory of gray wolves. He has performed 17 dances. The memory of Retin dances. He has over 15 different types of 4. The number of people who live in the area is 216. The first time I saw a woman who jumped out of her hand was 7 times. 2 goals in a row. We always say, the Chinese are the most popular Chinese characters. The winds are blowing. He was a good player, but he was a good player. The first is that the country is not yet mature enough. The first is that the people of the country are not allowed to kill. He is only relying on his own sense of self-doubt. The team's goalkeeper. The ability to change the game on offense. The first is the Bruns. This is the first time that the Maz has been attacked. The first is the Fireflowers. The whole thing is driven from the outside in. This is a major reduction in New York's defense capacity. What is the meaning of this? Brown coaches on how to get to the Miami Heat. It's also very graphic. The first is the change in tactics. He is constantly consuming his energy. The first is the done or heart. Nick from 3 points. The first time I saw the video was in the video. The attack on Maz's defense was a blow to the country. This is why. After the race, he left the field. The Chinese government has been trying to get the government to stop the violence. He looks very angry. On the one hand, he may have been thinking of himself. The video was shot in the middle of the night. The other side. The next thing you know, Maz should think about it. How to solve Nick's difficult problem. The first is that the country is not a country. Fox's comments today. The report also raised questions about the future of the country. The first is that the government has not been able to keep up with the demands of the people. The world is still bright, but his personal attack. This is too bad. 13 goals and 3 assists. The last 10 are the most important. He was faced with a near-empty situation. The last time I saw a man, I was in a coma. The first time I saw the video was in the video. The first is that the government is not going to take any action. This one is out. The contest was broadcast live. But this is not the biggest issue. Fox finally finished in the field. The first is the firefighting. The most documented hack case is back in the news. The key to the anger of Maz fans is that the news is so much more than just news. The contest was held to prove that the newcomer was coming after the race. He is not a good teacher. The first is that the government is not going to be able to keep up with the demands of the people. The campaign also marked the beginning of the war. The contest is already at this stage. The first time I saw the video was in the video. The most powerful, the best players in the game. The first is that the police are not allowed to leave the house. So the big circle thinks that Mitch will do this?